So I was invited to train with Team Usyk. So I've been in Spain. We've been doing some good training out in Spain. And I think he's one of the best in the world. Not I think, he is one of the best in the world. And it's not all down to him, it's also down to his team that's around him. So I linked up with them, and getting an insight to how someone who's achieved so much has been phenomenal, man. It's been a great experience and it's very challenging.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously, he's training with the best in the world. He is one of the best heavyweights in the world. We expect nothing less. It's great. And I want the best version of Anthony Joshua on December 19th. And it's going to be the best version of Jake Paul that you've seen, and we'll see who's better.
What you guys have done is very impressive. I understand from here. I know. You know, yeah. It's good.
Anthony Joshua's training camp turned heads the moment people learned he was working with Usyk's team while getting ready for Jake Paul. It showed he wasn't treating this matchup lightly. He wanted new eyes on his technique, fresh pressure, and a different kind of push. Now that the sessions are out, fans are trying to figure out what he's building for fight night.
New anyway, but I think he made it official that he's out there training with Team Oleksandr Usyk, you know, which is an interesting move, to say the least.
Jake Paul has more to prove to the world that he's worthy of respect than Joshua has to say that he's qualified like he's always been, and don't want to lose that to Jake Paul or anybody else.
Anthony Joshua spoke about his training with Usyk's team in a way that really showed how seriously he is taking the fight. He explained that he wasn't working with his usual trainer because staying in London felt too distracting. Instead, he went to Spain to train with Team Usyk, which he described as a challenging and valuable experience. He emphasized that it's not just about Usyk himself, but also the whole team around him, giving him insights into how someone who has achieved so much approaches training and preparation.
And are you still being trained by Ben Davison, Lee Wiley? Will Ben be in your corner on the 19th of December?
So no, I won't be trained by Ben Davison. I said that London's a bit distracting for me. So I was invited to train with Team Usyk. So I've been in Spain. We've been doing some good training out in Spain. And I think he's one of the best in the world. Not I think, he is one of the best in the world. And it's not all down to him, it's also down to his team that's around him. So I linked up with them, and getting an insight to how someone who's achieved so much has been phenomenal, man. It's been a great experience and it's very challenging.
He also mentioned that his current head trainer for the fight is Eagle, and he's been working with them for a couple of months. Joshua made it clear that while Usyk himself isn't sparring with him directly, being in that environment has been significant. The focus is on absorbing the methods and strategies that make a top-level heavyweight successful, rather than just practicing punches in the ring. It's about learning the mindset, the work ethic, and the details that turn elite training into performance.
Wow, I did not know that. So who will be your head trainer on the night?
Eagle.
Okay, and how long have you been with them?
A couple months now.
Couple months?
Yeah.
In the darkness, in secret?
No, it's not a secret.
Are you sparring with Usyk?
No, I don't spar with Usyk. Okay. Usyk's, he's training somewhere else at the minute, but he's been in camp, but he's in and out of camp.
Okay.
So right now he's training somewhere else.
When Jake Paul was asked about his views on the news, he acknowledged that training with one of the best heavyweights in the world is impressive and expected. Jake framed it as a challenge for both fighters, emphasizing that he also plans to bring his best. He spoke about being ready to show the best version of himself and hinted that the fight will ultimately reveal who is better. Jake's comments balanced respect for Joshua's preparation with his own confidence, creating anticipation for how their different approaches will meet in the ring.
Jake, what do you make of these changes? This is some breaking news.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously, he's training with the best in the world. He is one of the best heavyweights in the world. We expect nothing less. It's great. And I want the best version of Anthony Joshua on December 19th. And it's going to be the best version of Jake Paul that you've seen, and we'll see who's better.
In Spencer Oliver's view, training with Usyk's team isn't only physical, it's also about mindset. Joshua has been through big fights before, but every preparation counts. Spencer seemed to imply that AJ is approaching this fight strategically, not just relying on his size or power. He's putting himself in the best position to manage Jake's unpredictability and maintain composure under pressure. Oliver suggested that the move shows Joshua is taking the challenge seriously and wants to be at his absolute best when the fight happens.
Because Anthony Joshua is best at the lighter weight. You know, when he's coming heavy, that's when he's a little bit slower and his feet are a little slower. But, you know, at 245 pounds, the second time he lost to Oleksandr Usyk, you know, that's when he's at his most explosive. And he recognised that. That's why he come in at that weight against Usyk, because he was trying to match him for speed. You know, he recognised that his feet have to be a bit quicker. So it's only going to benefit AJ, I think. And obviously, news broke that he is out there, which we already knew anyway. But I think he made it official that he's out there training with Team Oleksandr Usyk, you know, which is an interesting move, to say the least.
Gareth A. Davies highlighted how Jake Paul carries confidence and belief in the impossible. He's convinced he can shock the boxing world, perhaps in a way that would rival past upsets like Andy Ruiz's win over Joshua in 2019. Gareth left it open-ended, noting that while Paul has a strong narrative and marketing power, whether he can turn it into an actual victory is uncertain. He made it clear that Paul has a vision and a story in mind, but the odds remain stacked against him.
He's manifested an awful lot. Whether you like him or not, whether you think he's good or not for boxing, he believes that he can cause the biggest upset in the history of boxing, and I think it will be. I mean, remember what a big upset it was when Andy Ruiz defeated Joshua in 2019. If Jake Paul pulls off what we almost consider to be impossible, it will be the biggest upset in the history of boxing. For me, it'll be that. So he was talking about that. This was behind the scenes afterwards. And he was saying, I truly believe I can do it. I truly believe I can go in there and do something. And then to that point at the press conference, which you never thought you'd hear him say.
One interesting point Davies made was about the reaction of fans if the fight stretches beyond the early rounds. He suggested that if Paul survives past a couple of rounds, some people might see it as a moral victory, even if he ultimately loses. It would raise eyebrows and questions, creating a buzz about his durability and resilience.
This is a guy I'm considering as a proper boxer, who's a challenger to me. I think I asked him this at the press conference, would you treat him like any other heavyweight you're about to fight? And he said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to bust him up. That is what I'll do. I thought it was very interesting today. It's largely American media. I think we were maybe two of the very few British media guys who were here. I don't think we'd have come over here automatically if we weren't covering the BKB event as well. We might not have come just for the press conference. But I do feel like, for all the criticism that it's received, everybody's interested to watch it. It's just one of those. There isn't really much jeopardy. The jeopardy is, can Anthony Joshua get him out of there before 2 rounds, which is what...
Does he have to?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Why does he have to?
He's got to jab his head off and hit him with a big right hand and put him away, or a few big right hands.
Another thing Davies added was the idea of stakes beyond this fight. A loss for Joshua could have domino effects on his potential fight with Tyson Fury. Gareth stressed that a loss here wouldn't just be a minor setback. It could derail future plans and harm Joshua's legacy in a way few outside the sport might truly appreciate. The flip side is that Paul, if hurt or knocked out, would also face a significant setback, making the fight high stakes for both. Bernard Hopkins explained that Jake needs this fight more than Joshua does. He said that fighting AJ allows Jake to silence the doubters, or at least push them back for a while. He then spoke about Joshua's part in this. Hopkins said that AJ is going into the fight with a lot of pride on the line. He described Joshua as someone who is trying to protect his position because a loss here would be something he would not want connected to his name. Hopkins did not dig too deep into Joshua's mindset, but he hinted that AJ is taking the fight seriously because he cannot afford the kind of criticism that would follow if things went wrong.
An opportunity for Jake Paul now, fighting Joshua, to be able to say, hey, I belong here, I'm worthy. And I don't think anybody can deny that. People can have suspicions about how it's going to go, whether it's going to be scripted or whatever. Nah, Joshua's going in there to prove that Jake Paul's not on the level of a top-rated fighter, boxer in that weight division, or any weight division, especially in the heavyweight. And he got a lot on the line too, because he don't want to lose to what people would say Jake Paul is not a bona fide contender or fighter. I say he is. I said he's earned that, and I believe most people believe he earned that from what I've been hearing and seeing.
He added that Jake actually has more to prove in this fight than Joshua. Hopkins explained that Joshua already has a long career behind him, while Jake is still trying to show he can stand with the biggest names. He didn't say it dramatically, he just pointed out that Jake has to carry the pressure of trying to earn respect on a much larger scale. That pressure alone can shape how someone fights, but he did not give away how he personally thinks Jake will handle that moment.
Jake Paul has more to prove to the world that he's worthy of respect than Joshua has to say that he's qualified like he's always been, and don't want to lose that to a Jake Paul or anybody else.
If you end up knocking him out, what does that say about AJ's career?
If my eye had ball, should be my own.
Ado Oladipo talked about how this matchup feels completely different for Jake Paul. He said this one is bigger than anything Jake has done, not just because of the opponent, but because of how huge the event could become. He hinted that the numbers might even top some of the biggest boxing nights, showing how much the mix of boxing and entertainment can reshape interest.
Like Jake Paul versus AJ does way bigger numbers for me than Gervonta versus AJ. I think this actually does bigger numbers than Terence Crawford versus Canelo. I really do. I think this is, again, if it makes money, it makes sense.
He also spoke about the fight itself in a straightforward way. Ade felt that if Joshua showed up fully switched on, the gap between them should be obvious. He pointed out the size, the power, and the experience AJ brings, and suggested that Jake wouldn't have many real openings. In his eyes, this could even be the type of fight Joshua finishes early if he wants to.
This is not hyperbole. This is not me just being over the top. AJ should and could, more should, knock out Jake Paul in a round. Right. In the first time they lock horns and they get together, AJ should be able to absolutely obliterate him. Like, there's no, like, come on, like, stop. Like, this is a Jake Paul who, look, credit to him what he's done. It's incredible what he's achieved. But this is a Jake Paul. I think Gareth said it well the other day. Like, if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control sort of fights, right? He would be. I don't think he would be a Southern Area cruiserweight champion. Southern Area. I don't believe he would be that. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world that I still believe is a top 10 heavyweight in the world. I know I did my rankings the other day and didn't have him on it, but he is. When he's on form, he is. Like, AJ should be able to destroy him.
Carl Frosch talked about Jake stepping in as the A side. You could tell he found the whole idea strange. He couldn't understand how someone who had never fought a real heavyweight could suddenly act like they were leading the show. The way he explained it made it feel like he thought money had shifted the sport into a different place.
And even more bizarrely than that, Fake Paul is the A side. He wanted to be the A side, so it's billed Fake Paul, Anthony Joshua, but I mean, AJ's agreed to it because the old buns. Money talks, doesn't it? But yeah, Fake Paul, Anthony Joshua, in that order. How's he the A side? Never even fought a heavyweight in the professional capacity, and he's jumping in with AJ. We'll get into it now.
He also shared how he thought the fight would actually play out. Carl felt Joshua should take control fast if he landed the right shots. He didn't treat it like a close matchup at all. In his mind, Joshua's size and power would show straight away, and even one heavy shot could completely swing the fight. He felt Jake would struggle to deal with the speed and strength coming at him.
If this is actually a bona fide, genuine contest between AJ and Fake Paul, there's only one winner, and it ain't gonna take long. And Anthony Joshua said, Jake or anyone can get this work, no mercy. I took some time out, I'm coming back with the mega show. It's a big opportunity for me, whether you like it or not. I'm here to do massive numbers, have big fights and break every record whilst keeping cool, calm and collected. So chill in it. I mean, come on, he's jumping in with fake Paul, who has no experience and no fights and no world ranking at heavyweight. Easy work, easy money. Yeah, it's going to be big. It's going to be massive. It's going to be big fights. I mean,
the boxing world has been buzzing about Anthony Joshua's training, with many impressed by his focus and discipline as he prepares for Jake Paul. Experts have predicted a dominant performance for Joshua, saying he could overwhelm his opponent early. Others have highlighted how dangerous the fight could be for Jake, stepping up against a two-time heavyweight champion. Fans and analysts are debating every angle. Now all eyes are on the ring to see who will come out on top. Let us know what you think. Who do you believe will win this fight? Share your thoughts in the comments below.